Welcome back to the Fifth Wheel Podcast. I'm Hannah,
And I'm Sydney.
and this week we are talking about Qatar.
Yes, we are. And oh boy, do we have some things to talk about.
Oh boy, are we talking about Qatar.
So, okay, sidebar, which, wow, this might be a new record. 20 seconds in, and I'm already sidebarring. When I said, and oh boy, do we have, I was like, I went into Veggie Tales, and do we have a show for
So for
you?
you, if you
Anyways,
like
this isn't Veggie
to talk
Tales.
about guys driving cars.
Literally. Anyways, yeah, this isn't Veggie Tales. This is the Fifth Wheel podcast. Welcome.
Welcome. Yeah, I mean this might be the first time we've talked about Veggie Tales too, but we'll make sure to bring
Yeah,
it up next time.
we might. Who knows? We could do what drivers are what VeggieTales characters.
That would be a great off-season episode.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have quite a few just random ass episodes, which, probably comes as no surprise, but nevertheless, here we
Why
are,
not?
gonna talk about Qatar.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so that was crazy. Qatar. Well,
Yeah.
there are a few things that happened beforehand.
Yes.
And nothing crazy, or like, well, one of them's crazy. The first one I was gonna say, and this is what I was validating a few minutes ago.
Okay.
There's a rumor,
Yep.
it's again rumored, but being spread very widely that Fernando Alonso is having a baby.
I did see that.
It has
Why
not
did I
been
see
confirmed, but everyone's talking about it.
No, and the thing I did see that. And I don't know where, and I don't know and I forgot I saw that. Well, I guess we'll find out, or we won't.
Me with the arrow rumored. Hey, like mention that. We don't want to be
I
claiming
mean,
babies over here.
if he does, more power to him. Good for him. I bet he would be a great dad.
I bet he would too. I bet he'd be a fun dad.
Probably.
He'd be
Probably.
funny. He would pester his kids for sure.
Oh, absolutely. They're like, Dad, stop making TikToks.
Meanwhile, he's on TikTok like making thirst traps.
Oh, bless it. I mean, he's gonna still be racing, so
Yeah, might as well. He's gonna be racing until he's like 80.
yeah, I know. I'm convinced he's gonna be the first to do it because it's Fernando. It's rookie Fernando Alonso.
He's gonna get to yeah, he's new to the sport. I mean, he's got his whole career ahead of him.
He's
He's gonna
Kimmy
get to Sunny
Antonelli's favorite
Hayes
rookie.
age. Yeah, that's true. He's gonna get to Sunny Hayes age like in the F1 movie, like 60 something.
Jeez. Yeah, that's
Anyways,
still
that was the
that,
first thing I saw.
yeah. Um, Sort of related, not related, but this happened pre-race weekend. Um, Shelby and I got new phones, and I think the best thing that happened to our group chats is being able to change the background to our text messages.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. Today, I don't know if you did it today, our Welcome to the Iron Rattler, which is the group chat of Hannah Parker and my sister and I, used to be this just phenomenal picture that Hannah took at the race. Now it's George Russell doing a T pose, and it's really funny because currently this GIF that Hannah sent earlier calling Parker an old man,
Old
literally
man.
aligns perfectly with George Russell doing the T, and it quite literally is my favorite thing ever.
That's
Um,
hilarious. Fun fact about that. One, I did not do it yesterday. Oh yeah, that one show that one first.
Yeah, so this is the group chat of just Hannah, Shelby, and I, and it's, Charles making a Charles face naturally with some fun hearts behind it. And then Shelby and I's is her favorite picture of Carlos Sainz, which arguably is one of my favorite pictures of Carlos Sainz. And it's him holding the wrench when he was at Ferrari when him and Charles got really, really competitive playing Name That Tune. So
Oh
those are
yeah.
the F1 themed ones right now. Really fun, bringing me a lot of joy every time I open up these text messages.
It's super fun. Yeah, so fun fact, the George Russell one, I put that in like 2 days ago. Surprised it took
Oh,
everyone that long to notice. But also, the picture cuts off like his feet and just right above his head because it's like, on TV. And so I put it in an AI extender so that it would fit perfectly within the
dude, I didn't even notice.
I kind of
AI
killed it
kind
though.
of did well. All
Well,
right.
it didn't do that good. I kind of had to like edit it. I was like,
I
it
mean, I
needs to
wasn't
be
gonna know
smooth
you. I could have lived my entire life without knowing that you added George Russell's feet to that image.
because I'm an expert on George Russell's feet.
That
I'm
was
really
weird.
not. I'm really not. I would like to clarify I've never seen
Anyways, so
his
yeah,
feet.
that's the latest development in our group chats that bring me lots of joy.
It's fantastic. The
So
only other pre-race weekend update I had was Max was asked about the championship fight, and
naturally,
he's naturally, and he said a comment. He said, "We're in this fight because of other people's failures. If we would have had a car as dominant as McLaren's this year, the championship would have been over a while ago," which I think most people can agree on, right? And
mhm.
so Lando was asked how he felt about that. And I'm going to read the full quote because it has been taken out of context, although it's still not good.
Yeah,
Lando's response to this was he's very welcome to say everything he wants, to be honest. He's kind of earned that right. He's won 4 world championships. I have a lot of respect, and I think that gives a lot of credit in general. He's achieved an incredible amount, more than anyone generally dreams of achieving. Max generally has a good clue about a lot of things, but there's also a lot of things he doesn't have much of a clue about. It's also Red Bull's way of going about things. It's this kind of aggressive nature and just talking nonsense a lot of the time. So he did start it by like complimenting Max a lot, but he still was like, hey, that's nonsense, and he doesn't know what he's talking about. And that has a lot of people on the internet up in flames about it. I didn't think it was that bad,
I don't
but
either.
also,
I mean, and that's the thing. You know, I think we've talked about it where I do think Lando catches a lot of unnecessary heat in the same way that Max caught a lot of unnecessary heat, you know, a season, as near as a season ago. And so like I don't, it's in my opinion, I feel like it's crazy to be mad at Lando for saying that when the drivers say shit like that all the time.
they
He's
say
not,
the most out of pocket shit.
no, that's actually wouldn't even make the
That's
like
so
top
tame.
1,000 list of out of pocket shit that I've heard an F1 driver say in the last year alone.
In the last week. In the
True,
last week.
true.
There's been some others. So yeah, I just thought I'd share that because that was a hot topic of discussion. Wasn't sure how you felt about it. Also, me and Sydney have not talked about the race with one another.
We
This is our
haven't.
first time discussing it together. Yeah, that's why I was like, I
Yeah.
think I should bring it up because I don't know how she feels about it because I haven't asked.
Which is crazy because
I
let me
know.
if there's one thing Hannah and I have done in the past since the race, it's yap. We
Mm-hmm.
about all of the things and F1 related things, but we never did talk about the race. And that might kind of be my fault because I was driving back home after Thanksgiving on Sunday and I left in the middle of the race.
So you didn't see part of it till you got home.
No. And on top of that, wait, no, it was when I got home because I had to leave because I had a friendsgiving that I had to be at like 3ish, and it's a 3 hour drive from the house back to back up here. And when I got back and I was getting ready, I put the race on and I was like, okay, yeah, no, because did I finish? No, no, it wasn't until after friendsgiving.
So you went like hours and hours,
Yeah.
not just like a
No, it
couple
was.
hours, but like
Yeah. It was
hours.
after Friendsgiving because I did not because I got caught in some dumbass traffic because everyone and their mother was trying to get back to Fayetteville, which I know should have expected. Whatever. Anyways, not the point. And so it wasn't until because I don't think I got home till like 8:30, 9 o'clock, somewhere in there. And so yeah, I went all day. Kudos to me for just like not getting on my phone because it was like I was swiping away notifications, which is a really good thing that I did that because the Williams app almost spoiled things for me. But anyways, it didn't. Nevertheless, yeah, I knew what
This
happened
is
from
new
the beginning of
information.
the race. But so that was what Sunday was. The other thing, which we've just completely blew past, which I think is reasonable, it was the last sprint weekend, race weekend of the
Oh,
season.
yeah, it was the last
Yeah.
sprint. Second to last overall race, which is going to make me depressed in
Depressed.
about a week's time.
Yeah.
But yeah, last sprint race, and it was pretty. It was a pretty boring sprint race.
Oh,
Like it was.
so sprint quali way more interesting than the race.
Yes.
And by interesting, um, yeah, Lewis had himself a shit weekend, unfortunately. He went out in Q1 again. And then what was it? Charles, not great, started P9, both Red Bulls in Q3, which was impressive for Yuki. I think this was one of the first times in a long time that the second Red Bull that Yuki outqualified Max. Granted, it was by one place. And then my singular note on the sprint race, literally nothing.
Yep. Well, what's funny about Yuki out qualifying Max, when that happened, my whole feed was just pictures of Max photoshopped in the Racing Bulls, the V carb get up. It was like, welcome back.
Yeah.
Which was very funny to me. I remember there was some funny off track stuff that happened because of the sprint race. I think it was because of the sprint. And Lewis obviously out in Q1. Lovely. Wasn't he asking? Yeah, they're asked anything positive that you can take into tomorrow, Lewis, and he goes, "Well, the weather's great."
Car so bad, we're talking about the weather.
No, literally, I'm just gonna start holding up the memes that I'm saving for this, but
Now, you know why I'm excited for the season to be over? Because we never have to see that fracking car in a race again.
yeah, they should burn it. They
Like
should
drop it
sacrifice it, actually, a spiritual
in the
sacrifice to the
middle
F1
of a
gods.
volcano. Good
Middle
lord.
of the volcano. Yeah.
But yeah, the sprint race, I mean, it was I literally could not tell you what happened.
No, I mean Oscar just dominated. That was pretty much
Yeah.
it, which was great for him. He was on track to have a Grand Slam weekend. Um, and so I guess this kind of starts a little bit of that conversation. And this is, again, another point of contention amongst people on the internet. I have mixed feelings on it. So when Oscar qualified pole for the
Hmm.
race or he won the sprint, one of the two, he did really good on something.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
cut to the McLaren garage and no one was clapping or no, everyone looked really pissed off about it. And so there were people in the comments being like, "Well, that's Lando's side. That's Lando's side of the garage." But then other people like they're on the same team. They
Yeah.
shouldn't be angry that one of their drivers is doing well, you know?
Yeah.
I I don't have enough context to make a full opinion on it, but it does align a little bit with some previous McLaren behaviors. Question mark?
I
Kind
mean,
of.
yeah, but do I think the shot was live? Probably, but they could also be trying to pull a drive to survive on us. You know, it's like I,
They could.
we're not there. We don't know the context. I mean, McLaren has proved, well, I don't even want to say proved, the perception has been that there has been more joy for Lando than there has been Oscar. But it's like on the same side, Oscar winning doesn't like, yes, it affects Lando, but it's not like it was the final nail in the coffin for
No.
anybody's championship battle. So it's like I don't know. I just it's still a little icky, but I also
Yeah.
don't think I have enough skin in the game with McLaren to really care. Like I do, but I
Yeah.
don't. You know, that
No,
one
I get it.
doesn't make me want to grab my pitchfork and torch and like march to the ogre's swamp.
Correct. We also have a special guest here, real quick. Say hello,
Toast.
Toast. Hold
Let's
on, let me see if
go.
I can put him up to the mic and if he says anything. Say hi.
He said, no. Anyways,
All
he's real
right.
cute.
Goodbye.
Bye, Toast.
Well, now
Um,
he says something as I'm putting him down.
but yeah, so it's like
Um,
the sprint race. I mean, like literally nothing other than there were some more points for McLaren. I think Mercedes. Like, I didn't even write down the order. I watched
I
it and
didn't
I was
either.
like, cool.
Yeah.
But
Was it in qualifying that Leclerc had a little run in with someone, or was that in the sprint? I say run in.
I don't
Leclerc
remember.
had some comments about Carlos. Did you see those?
No.
I think he like impeded his lap or something. I don't know. I need to go back and check. But
I mean,
Charles, Charles was grumpy.
yeah, we
He
got a shit
goes,
car.
he
Of course he's grumpy.
Yeah, of course. He's been grumpy since he signed on to Ferrari. And rightfully so. But he said in reference to signs, today he does that, tomorrow, don't worry, I'll do the fucking same to him. We're slow anyways. First of all, crazy. The admission, we're slow anyways. Okay. All right. Second of all, hey man, that's your soulmate. Be
You
nice.
know, I'm gonna chalk that up to one of them just adrenaline fueled messages, and they probably
I think it was.
kissed and made up later. There are boys. I ain't worried about them. Those two are
Yeah.
home.
They're
Um,
homies. They're soulmates.
yeah. So yeah, sprint race, meh. And then honestly, qualifying, don't really remember much about it except for the fact that Lewis out in Q1 again, again. What the frack nugget trash can garbage car? Like, what do you mean?
That's a new term. I haven't heard that one.
I
Frack nugget trash can garbage car. I like it.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm
No,
wrong.
I can't tell you you're wrong. I'm
Fracking trash
laughing.
can
I'm
nugget.
laughing through the tears. So, yeah.
Because if I don't laugh, I'll cry. Like it's
Yeah.
just one of those. Like
Lewis
we
has
just
had a season. Ferrari has had a season.
we've had it just it's on me. I had so much hope. Charles had so much hope. We all had so much hope. And then,
It's like
but I will
I thought
say,
that people were being dramatic at first when I got into the sport and they would joke about Ferrari fans like suffering. I was like, y'all
uh
can't
huh,
be like actually suffering though because you're Ferrari. Um Boy was I wrong. We
yeah.
can suffer.
I picked this team before I knew that. But the sad thing is, or the good thing, I don't really even know what way thing this is. I probably would have picked them anyway. And I don't know what that says about my mental state, but here we are.
She loves
Oh,
danger.
now, no, okay. So, no, back to Lewis. I will say, am I frustrated? Yes. Do I know what it's like in his shoes? No. But I will say, I did see someone, I was probably on Twitter, say that, I think the difference is Charles, because I think he's driven for Ferrari for so long at this point, he's able to pull things out of this car that should not be happening. Like he is getting
Correct.
podiums, and honestly, a car that should have never seen the podium, it's only seen it a few times, but that car should have never seen the podium this year. But Charles,
Yeah.
just being Charles and knowing how to drive the shit box, has made it work. And I think Lewis, not only new team, but new team, bad car, like I want to give him. I'm not the F1 driver he is, right? And that's
Correct.
got to count for something. But it
Yeah.
just Ferrari definitely didn't do him any favors. It's just
No.
unfortunate that he's not pulling, a Max or a Charles and pulling things out of a car that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah. Well, I think that part of that is one new team, but also new team in the sense of like, hey, I can't just join a team and destroy their car. You know what I mean? Like, I think
Right.
at this point, Charles and Max, if they destroy, oh no, I destroyed the car. Sorry, have to say that if I'm saying destroy the car. I think if Charles or Max destroyed the car, everyone would be like, I don't blame them. They're trying to pull something out of this. Lewis just got in with Ferrari. Not that
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're gonna kick him out or anything. He's Lewis fucking Hamilton, but
Right.
he is there's a level of respect of like, hey, like I'm still getting to know this car. I'm not going to try to like pull
Yeah.
something out of it that I'm not sure how to do yet. So
Mhm.
I think it's a little bit of, I don't want to say tentativeness because I don't think that's it, but I think he is still trying to, I think he wants to fully understand the car before he takes more risks,
I could see
which
that.
is which is fair, but also like why
Come
don't red car go
on.
fast anymore?
It just was not. I mean, there have been a couple of tracks that the car has done significantly better at, and this was just not one of them. They were slow. Like, we were
And
slow this weekend.
we were, and well, here's the thing. Qatar itself is a terrible track for a couple of reasons. One, Qatar eats tires like fucking potato chips. Like it just
Yeah,
wears them down. There's
considering the fact that Pirelli was like, hey, you can't drive on tires for more than 25 laps the entire
25.
Grand Prix weekend,
Right,
which
25 or less.
shockingly affected the race.
Which
Wouldn't
wouldn't you know? What
you
who would have
know?
thought?
And
Yeah,
so
so there's that,
that
and
right there should
also
tell you that yeah, eats tires. You are
it eats
correct.
tires. And then another reason that Qatar is hard, especially for a car without pace, is because it is a track that is virtually impossible to overtake on without insanely good pace. Like you can have better pace than someone, but like you can't overtake on solely pace, I guess,
Yeah.
at Qatar. It's just not meant for that. It's like its
No.
own little Monaco in that sense, not really, but in a way. It's just not a good track if you don't like you got to kind of have your ducks in a row to do really well in
A
Qatar.
little bit,
There's a
yeah.
reason that McLaren started at the front of the grid, like
Yes.
they're
Yeah.
in their little rocket ship. So,
So, what was it? We
yay.
had and then into qual. See, that was the thing. I was just so sad about qualifying. I didn't even write down the starting grid. I know Lando started on pole.
No,
Max
Oscar
did.
did.
Oscar did. Oscar was on pole.
It was Oscar then Lando.
Oh, you're right because Max overtook Lando for a second. Anyways, welcome back, Max overtaking Lando. Um, you're right. You're right. You're right. I forgot which McLaren was in the front because of certain events that took place.
Orange
Uh,
car in front. Orange car in front.
Orange car in front. Orange car get point.
Orange car get some point.
Some
Not
points.
all point.
Not all points. Some points.
Some point. Well, what's funny too is like, I mean, you said welcome back, Max, overtaking Lando at the start. Whoever was in charge of the F1 TV graphics was not a Lando Norris fan. They put this little baby on there. It says, right before the race starts, Lando Norris lost the lead on the opening lap of Las Vegas, his 8th time in 16 starts from pole. So 50% losing pole rate, which is insane, by the way.
It's not
Um,
great,
to be fair, it is
but
Max,
yes,
but also
it is Max.
like as a world championship contender, I don't think that's a good rate. But also, I can't drive an F1 car, so I have nowhere to
Right.
complain.
And to his defense, if he can do that 50% of the time and still be leading the world championship battle right now, who
It's gotta
cares?
speak for something.
You
Yeah,
know, it's like, yeah, he's like, sure, okay, I've lost the lead on lap one 50% of the time, but I'm still winning.
he is
Now,
still
does
winning.
he know it's something that he should work on? I'm sure. But again, yeah,
Hmm.
you said it, we're not F1 drivers. I'm not going to pretend to know how difficult or easy or like I got no context for that. So it's
I
like,
mean, it can't be that hard, right? I can pull like what the F1 commentators were saying at Coda, like how the average male be like, I can totally drive an F1 car. Like, you
yeah,
can't.
yeah.
You
No, you can't.
cannot.
No, no,
Like, I know you think you can, and I know you're no, but like, how hard? You can't. I
no.
still love just
How hard could it be? Boys do
driving
it.
that. Like, oh my gosh, like other boys do it. It's like you're not Charles Leclerc. He can
No,
barely do it. Like,
true.
at least right
So it's
now.
one of those. Yeah, I mean, lap one, little bit of a interesting time. So yeah, Max
Uh-huh.
overtakes Lando for second. I will say to Lewis's defense, even though he went out Q1 race, sprint race, and this race, so he had three Q1 exits consecutively. He at least made up he made up several places on that first lap. It
Oh,
didn't
good.
really end up mattering in the end. I don't think he finished in the points. I don't
I don't
remember.
think.
Um but he did go up several places, and then shortly after I noticed that I just see Nico just lose a tire, and I'm like, "Oh, that's going to cause some problems."
Wait, no, there's I thought you were going somewhere else. So, before this happens, you're talking about lap 7, right?
Was it lap 7?
The one with Pierre, that situation?
Oh, yeah, whenever the safety car comes out. I forgot
Yeah,
what
yeah, yeah.
lap it was on.
It was lap 7. There's something
Oops.
else happened beforehand. That I thought was just absolutely insane. regarding Nico Hulkenberg, who never fails to surprise. Right before the incident where him and Pierre have their little kissy kissy,
Yes.
um, he passes Charles like flawlessly.
Oh, I remember
He
that, and I was like,
he
I'm gonna pretend I didn't
overtook
see that.
Charles. Like I was like, where did you come from?
You want to know why I didn't write that down? Because I was like, that's something I want to purge from my memory. Was not great, should probably be a little bit unbiased, podcast host of me. Completely chose not to write that down.
Yep. It's okay, I got
made
it. It's okay, I
made
was
the
shocked enough.
yeah, made the conscious decision. I saw that and I was like, nope, not writing that down. So great. Thanks for bringing that up, Hannah, and bringing up the event that I didn't want to remember happened, even
You're
though we
so
talked
welcome.
about it.
Hey, I mean, it didn't last long. I mean, I'm talking that was like maybe 30 seconds before
Yeah, and who
he
knows?
had this little kissy kissy.
Maybe if that hadn't happened, yeah. Um, so yeah, anyways, yeah, Pierre gets a puncture because the collision between the two of them. Nico goes off, pretty sure he loses a tire. Full safety car comes out. You're right, because this was lap 7 because there were 50 laps left,
Exactly 50.
which
Very
is
convenient.
very important. There are 57 laps in this race. Remember the whole 25 tires? I might not be good at math all the time. I know this math. 25 plus 25 plus 7 is 57.
Yep. It was actually kind of perfect in every
It
way
was
possible.
insane. I
Except
was over
unless,
here doing the math and I was like, oh shit.
yeah. And I mean, it was
So
really great unless your car is orange.
yeah, so let's just jump right into this. So most know, you've been around for a race or two, that under a safety car, pit stops take less time, like significantly less time. So most of the time, it is a good idea, depending on who you are, where you're at in a race, to to pit under a safety car. And I would say, especially considering that we were on lap 7, all the announcers were like, I guarantee you we're about to watch almost everyone dive into the pit lane to take the pit stop, because at this point it's not quite a free pit stop, but it might as well be.
It was
Because
like the F1 gods
yeah,
were
no,
like,
literally.
hey, here you go.
And so then right after you say that, literally almost everyone except both McLarens come in for a pit stop.
And
I
for
think
me, it
there
was
might
so funny because,
it,
like, I've never seen the entire grid go in for a
it
pit
was like
stop at the same
meow,
time.
meow, meow,
It was
meow,
like
meow, 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 meow.
it was it looked like a kindergarten field trip. Like, all right, everyone, here we go. Like, we're going on a little field trip, except for the
Yeah.
two McLarens.
And so it was like, it was one of those that when I saw everyone go in, I was like, in that moment, I was like, this is either going to go beautifully for them or tragically wrong. And honestly, the announcers, my sister, my mom, all of us were like, that probably wasn't a good idea for them. Because
Correct.
as you said, it's hard to overtake or make up a lot of ground on this track. And
Yeah.
this is important because everyone pitted, you know that everyone that took the safety car pit stop is going to have to pit basically on lap, what would that be? 32.
32?
Yeah.
Look at us doing
32.
math. Oh my God.
Um or there, because of the amount of laps left, all of them are going to pit on lap 32. McLaren, who at this point still has no pit stops. This was going to be a two-stop race no matter what. No matter who you
Hmm.
are, when you pit, it was going to be a two-stop. And so this meant that McLaren was going to pit before lap 32 and after lap 32,
When
because
no
they
one
had,
else was pitting. Yeah.
which would have meant that they were trying to, isn't that overcutting when you pit after?
Girl, I don't know.
I always forget. It's either undercut or overcut, and I always forget which one. Um, and I'm like, in this moment, I'm like, you're gonna pit and then try to bank on the fact that you can move back up through the pack, or you're hoping and praying for another safety car. And the
Which is
thing
not
is,
reliable.
it's not. Sometimes you get the F1 gods are like, you know what? I'm gonna give you this one.
They're not going to give you two in
Almost
one race, though.
all of the time, I would say, especially when it's like a team that I kind of care about or someone that like when they need a safety car, they don't get one.
No.
It rarely happens. Like it's like, oh yeah, they could really use a safety car, and then it's just like the most incident free race you've ever seen.
Yeah.
It wasn't completely incident free, but it damn well might as well have been.
It might as well have been.
So
So,
I literally at this point am just like, all right, well, we're gonna sit back and not really relax, but watch this happen because at this point, it's a strategy race. Like McLaren made their bed and damn, they sure lied in it.
yeah. So I wrote down some of what could have and should have happened or slash did
Mm-hmm.
happen. So if McLaren were logically thinking human beings and not batshit crazy, um,
Mm-hmm.
how it could have worked, there's a couple scenarios. Scenario one, pit pit stop for both of them. That would have
Yeah.
probably made the most sense. If
Mm-hmm.
that happens, Oscar probably would have won. Lando probably would have gotten P5 or P6 just because of like the pit lane traffic. And
Yeah.
so they're like, well, maybe that one's not great because then that really puts Lando down. So, say, scenario two, only pit one driver. The one driver should have been Oscar if that were the case because he
Right.
was the front runner for the whole weekend. He has priority. Um, he would get closer to the championship to Lando. Um, and then Lando would have finished pretty much exactly where he did, right?
Right.
There's a third scenario that shouldn't exist but does, and that is pit no one. Um,
Yeah.
and that had a double negative. So that was not only does Oscar not win, two, Lando is still lower. Like it's not like no one wins in that situation. And
It
so like they said it's for flexibility, and I'm like, hey, like for
for
flexibility of
flexibility for
what?
whom?
Yeah,
For
like
whom?
we're not
It,
doing that. And so
I'm
I don't
with
know.
you. That door, I think in this case shouldn't have existed.
Right.
It's one of those sometimes whack little strategies or ones that you're like, I don't think that'll work, but it could. This to me was one that just in my, from the living room, my couch in my living room, like this strategy does not make sense. It
Especially for this
like
track.
for
Like
this
if it were a
track
different track, different race,
and
anything, it might have been okay.
I think because yeah, this track, the fact that everyone still has to stop. Because I think that might be the little bit of a difference is the fact that it was going to be a mandatory two-stop race. This strategy doesn't really work with that. Like
No.
it just doesn't. And so it was one of those like I when they didn't come in, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be interesting." And the thing was, the middle chunk of this race was not a whole lot happened. I mean, like Lance I think got a time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Um Ollie had some incident or either like had track limits, served a penalty,
I know it was.
retired. Like there were just a couple of little things maybe. And then I'm like, all right, well, obviously the interesting part is going to be the very end to see if McLaren is somehow gonna pull a frackin' miracle. And in the meantime, so mind you, I left before this second pit stop. So I'm just like, well, I guess I'll find out what happens later. But before that, I'm like, huh. I said, Carlos podium maybe? Because he was running in like third or fourth for most. He started fifth, and then after McLaren did their McLaren strategy, Carlos looking pretty good.
Yeah, he was like, oh, good. One thing I will say, like, still with that strategy too, is like the only person that I say quote unquote benefited from the McLaren situation is actually Lando. Like, even though Lando doesn't like win, if he had pitted, he would have gotten even lower because of pit lane traffic. If he hadn't pitted and Oscar pitted, he would have ended up where he did. So like really the biggest loser in this case is Oscar because Lando would have ended there no matter what and Oscar still got bumped down. So basically, this
Yeah,
is what everyone jokes about. McLaren does have a favorite driver and it's Max Verstappen. Like they're
literally.
helping him get to his championship. So anyways, we can go back to the race. We have a lot more to talk about with that later, but
I mean, yeah, it just
with Ollie's
it
penalty, if you want to know, it was for, I wrote it down specifically. It was for unsafe position during his pit stop. And if you saw it in the race, which I guess you didn't, he was like kind of like at a weird angle, and that for that they gave him a 10-second
oh, it was 10
penalty.
seconds.
10, yeah, well, it was so FIA's number one enemy,
I would say
Ollie
like
Behrman. Like
welcome back.
the announcers were like, that is an absolutely ridiculous penalty. They said like that
That's
is
insane.
like because a 10-second stop and go penalty is a very serious penalty. That's like I'm
Yes.
putting other people's lives in danger penalty. Was not that. And I'm like, what do these people have
They
against
they
little Ollie
really want to give
Behrman?
that man a race ban.
They're gonna give him a raise. Welcome back, Kevin Magnuson.
I
Um,
mean,
like
jeez.
genuinely, like, but he's not even doing it on purpose.
No,
Like,
he's a rookie.
he's just a
He's just a little
baby.
old rookie.
He is. So yeah, that was that. Signs had a lovely race.
Hmm.
Signs had a
Hmm.
great time out there.
I mean, I'll go ahead and spoil it now. I wrote, "Holy shit, Carlos podium, matey, maybe," and then at the very end, "But holy Carlos podium, go Williams." He did do it.
Amazing.
I mean, he did do it. Shout out Williams, shout out Carlos. Like, it was phenomenal to see Carlos on the podium again. I mean, that's two real race podiums, one sprint race podium. Like,
Anna
the
Williams.
in a Williams after he told us, "Don't expect to see me on the podium," because to his defense, I don't think any of us really expected him on the
No.
podium because he's at Williams. But then Williams kind of got their shit together this year, and man, it's been fun to see.
It's been so fun. It's been amazing. Um, Another thing, sorry, I forgot one other thing that happened in the race with McLaren. And this was towards the end. When Oscar had his final pit stop, I must have, what is it called? Like Mandela effect or something. I swore I heard Oscar talk about when he was going to go in for his final pit stop. I swore he said soft tires. Either it was him, which apparently it wasn't because I looked it up. It might have been the announcers being like, yeah, like there's only like 10 laps in this race left. So soft tires would be the move for this, for that grip
Yeah,
to catch Max. His team put hards on. Everyone was like, hey, what the fuck? You have 10
yeah,
laps left. Why are you putting hard tires on? And for those, it was literally like 10 laps left. There was a 17-second gap. And of course, everyone was like, he's not gonna catch him. I will say, I have never seen anyone on hard tires do what he did. He cut down a second and a half to 2 seconds per lap,
yeah.
pretty much, like until the end. And I think he ended up being just a few seconds away from Max. But like what? Just
The
another like,
only
hey
thing
McLaren, what? Like, what drugs did you take that morning?
I don't know. The only thing I can think of is maybe they didn't have a set that, like, maybe they didn't have a new set. Maybe they might have had a pair of soft tires that could only do six more laps and not 10 more. Like, I don't know. I would like to think that maybe there is a reason for that. I mean, there's gotta be. and maybe he asked for who knows, maybe the data was like, nah, actually the hard tires right now where the track is, like the track evolution, like maybe it was, and obviously they worked for him. He just didn't have enough race left
No.
to make up enough ground. I mean, you're right, he was catching Max, because when I went back and watched it, like he was catching Max. Lando was catching Kimmy and Carlos to the point where I was like, "Oh, Carlos, you better hold on."
Go,
That was hilarious.
go!
Carlos at the end when he was like, "Guys, I think we should push," and then like a minute later he goes, "Guys, I'm gonna push. I'm gonna go for it," because like it was one of those of like, do you preserve the tires? Do you try to like be smart with it? Lando's okay. He's like, "I'm going for it. I
He's
can
like,
get this
nah, fuck
podium."
that.
He's like, and then the team eventually was like, "You know what? Yeah, you're right. Go for the
We trust
podium."
you. What's so
Um,
funny is like one of the announcers said, like, he's matching Verstappen's pace in a Williams.
yes.
Can we talk about that for a
It's
moment?
insane. It's insane. For a car that they said from the beginning of the season they were going to do the minimum of minimum upgrades because they were focusing on 2026, and we're doing this year. I
And
mean,
they're like
hats off to
insane.
Williams.
Go Williams!
Go Williams. I mean, it was fun to see. Lando um would have finished, well, maybe. He was like shark in the mirror, Jaws music, playing, coming after Kimmy. And it was one of those, it really did kind of look at, for like, if you just like looked at it, like Kimmy was just like, "Oh, let me get out of your way. You go on through, Lando." But when you went back and watched it, he had a little moment with the car, and like obviously he's not going to purposefully give Lando a
No,
place. Like, what good does that do Kimmy Antonelli? It
nothing.
did make championship battle things a little bit more interesting, but it
Yeah.
just, and I know we're about to jump to that, but it's like,
Yeah.
I I
Well,
mean, McLaren strategy so bad, it even surprised the Ferrari strategists. Like,
it did.
I mean,
So
congrats McLaren, you like, orange is the new red.
and red is the new Kick Sauber. Like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah, it is.
red
I
is the new
know.
neon green. It's really just
Yeah.
upsetting. But the Kimmy thing is actually a perfect segue because I would like to talk about the aftermath of that.
Yes.
Um,
Mc- Mc-
so stuff happened.
Didn't
So
Red Bull had to make a team statement?
yeah, well, so here's what happened. Helmut Marko.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Before I even say Helmut Marko, and you'll see why. Post race, post Qatar Grand Prix was mean girl o'clock. Like everyone was being bitchy to everyone for every reason you can possibly think about. It was
Yeah.
bullying hours after the Qatar Grand Prix. So we'll start with Kimi Antonelli. Helmut
Yeah.
Marko is Helmut Marko and decides to pick on a teenager when he is
Because he's
two
Helmet
feet
Marco
from
and
the
he
grave.
sucks.
Yeah, he's Helmut Marko. He sucks. He is like 2 feet from being in his own grave. And also, he sucks. And he says, you know what I'm going to do tonight? I think I'm going to talk shit about a teenager who's doing their best. So he
Yeah.
does. He says some really shitty stuff about Kimmy. Toto, like the protective mother he is, he
Yep.
comes out. He
Don't
comes
come
out. He
after
goes,
my
this is,
child.
don't come after my child. He goes, this is total, utter nonsense. It blows my mind
Mhm.
to even hear that. How brainless can you be to even say something like this? Why would you even think about that we are thinking about interfering with the driver's championship? You really
For
need to check
real.
yourself. And you know what? This is why another reason I love Max. I love Max so much. Max really is like the big brother, the dad of the grid because reportedly I've seen this from a couple people, did not verify, but I've seen from a couple people that Max is the one that made Red Bull issue the apology to Kimmy.
I could see that being a thing.
I could see it. I can see Max being pissed off about that. And like we've seen even in the last Grand Prix when Kimmy got fourth or whatever, or maybe it was the one before
Yeah.
that. He was like and he's like so proud of him. Like he's just a proud dad. And so that was the first mean girl moment. Let's not talk shit about teenagers in their first year at a Grand Prix
Hmm.
when they're doing better than one half of your team, by the way.
Yep.
Um anyways, another thing And I'm I'm gonna be a Lance Stroll defender for 2 minutes, and then I'll be right back to everything else. Okay, don't
Okay.
worry, it's not permanent.
Okay.
So Lance, I don't know if he didn't finish or something. I can't remember, but he was walking out of the grid. He had a bad result for something, and he people were filming him, and he was crying. Which is like you hate to see a driver cry. Like even if it's Lance Stroll, I hate
Yeah.
seeing a driver cry, especially since Lance is always so like stoic too. Like it must be pretty bad if he's crying, right? So
True.
people are filming him walking, and then they start pointing and laughing at him.
Oh.
Like that actually like kind of broke my heart a little bit. I was like, "Hey
Yeah,
guys,
I
don't
kind of that. I'm sorry,
I
Lance.
know. I'm like, don't make him into the villain that we pretend that he is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we don't need another Helmet Marco in 20 years. Or
Amen.
sorry, in 160 years, because that's how old Helmet Marco is. And he sucks, by the way, if I haven't said that.
He
But
really does.
yeah, so that's some of the Mean Girl energy. I have one more Mean Girl thing, and it is McLaren. So I don't know if you have anything else before you want to jump to that, but
I mean, let's just hop right into it because, as we said, McLaren, I mean, flabbergasted that their strategy didn't work. Like, to the point where like, they said no interviews until after the podium. Like,
yep.
Oscar was on the podium. Oscar got P2, and
Mm-hmm.
then you had Max 1, and then you have Carlos in third, Lando fourth. No interviews until after the podium. I mean, like,
Well,
even the
there's
announcers were like, yeah, I'm sure they're trying to figure out where their strategy
what to
went wrong. And I'm
say.
like, I can tell you didn't pit under the safety car,
There
but
was more. There's more. But wait, there's more. Before we even get to after the podium, so I checked this like 50 times just to be sure. There's either only like one person or zero people when Oscar got out of the car. None of the McLaren team greeted him after. Like you know how they always wait there and like high five their driver? Um, like Max got his like big celebratory like pats on the back. Carlos got a huge one. Like it was so great. No one from
I
McLaren
mean, but
went
let's be
to Oscar.
real. Yes, he finished on the podium. They didn't have much to celebrate yesterday or Sunday, whatever
True,
day it
but like
was.
when has that ever happened? Well, wait. It has happened. It has happened with Carlos Sainz at Ferrari. It has happened with Carlos Sainz at Ferrari. Remember how mad we were about that?
Vaguely.
It happened last season with Carlos. No one greeted him after he podiumed. Um, and so that like to me it just gives like it's like one thing if that's like the only time that's happened, but like they didn't celebrate with him for the constructors championship, things like that. Like it just like doesn't look good at the very
No,
least. It
it
doesn't look good.
doesn't. But I mean,
And
again,
then
they've made that bed.
yeah, and Williams even posted like Oscar and Carlos, words escape me. Williams posted that like cuz they were congratulating Oscar in that moment. Williams posted that,
Right.
which is like, "Hey man, there's other teams doing more for your driver than you are." So that was one thing. It just like I don't know. It feels very icky and bad. I for a while, so like beginning mid this season, I was like, McLaren's really not beating the favoritism allegations here. They're not necessarily like oh my god like x like 100%, but they're definitely not helping the allegations that are going around, right? Okay. And then
No.
the rest of the season kind of goes by, and I'm like I kind of hop off that train. I'm like whatever, like I'm not thinking about it. And honestly, like maybe they weren't, and maybe I was just being dramatic, or maybe I don't know. And then this happens, and I'm like how else should it come across, you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
understand, like, there's probably a lot of reasons for a lot of each of these things happening. But from an outsider's point of view, it straight up looks like they do not give a shit about him.
Yeah.
So, like, it doesn't matter the intent behind it, it looks horrible. You know?
That's fair.
That's how I see it, at least. But, It's so bad that even the Australian Senate,
We're
um,
talking about it.
yeah, in court, in a
It's
in a
so
Senate
funny.
meeting, the Australian government was talking about it. And all of them, well,
It's
first of
so
all, the first
funny.
one was like you're asking for an opinion. I don't think I can say that here. But then they're like, but yes, we do believe that McLaren is biased against Oscar Piastri.
I
So I
mean,
think if it's so bad that your own government is talking about it, that might be a red flag.
that's true, but it's like that's between Oscar and McLaren. Like, I I don't. It's icky. I don't like it, but it's where he's at, and he's either gonna have to deal with that or go somewhere else. And we know he's not
No,
going
yeah,
anywhere else next year, so it's like I don't know. It'll be interesting to see play out because of
yeah.
these results. We have, I mean, welcome back 2021, but like even more somehow because not only do we have a championship battle, what in the cars plot? Because we have a three-way battle for the championship right now.
We do. It's
And
kind
like
of crazy.
plausible three-way championship.
Yes, it's like I was doing the research on like what needs to happen with each driver
It's
for it to happen in their favor.
crazy.
Um, none of them are like none of them are like, oh, that'll never happen. You know what I mean? It's not like when they were like, hey, we have five people for the championship and Charles was one of them. Like it's not one of those.
No.
Um, all of them have a chance here. Is now a
Yes.
good time for me to explain how they have a
I
chance?
think so.
All right, so let's start with Lando. Lando has 408 points. He is the leader at the moment. Very odds are incredibly in his favor. If he is on the podium, he wins.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. If he is in fourth or fifth, he wins as long as Max does or yeah, as long as Max doesn't win. Same with sixth and seventh, as long as Max or Oscar. Basically, like as long as he is on the podium and Max doesn't win and Oscar doesn't get P1 or P2, Lando
Mhm.
wins. It's very, very likely that Lando will win
Yep.
the championship. And because of all of the McLaren stuff, the comments I've seen online are like, this is going to be the most like petty world championship ever if he does win. People are going to be really mad about it. I don't think I'd be mad about it, but like I want Max to win. So, anyways, let's talk about how Max could win. Um, let's see how Max Verstappen could get his fifth. So, 396 points. He is 12 points below Lando. There are three ways that Max can win. First is if he gets first place and Lando is P4 or lower, which is very possible. I mean, that happened this past race. It could happen again. Second one, if Max gets P2 and Lando's P8 or lower and Oscar doesn't win. And the last one is P3, Lando's P9 or lower, Oscar doesn't win. So basically, if he has to get a podium and Lando has to have a bad race and then Max
Mhm.
hasn't, and which is very, very plausible for Max. He is frequently, if not always, on the podium. So, I don't know. And then finally we have Oscar, who's 392. He is 4 points behind Max, so that makes 16 points behind Lando. I need to stop doing math. It's really not my strong suit. But Oscar has two opportunities to win. One is if he gets first place. Lando has
Mhm.
to be P6 or lower. Max doesn't matter at that point. And
Yeah.
the other one is if he gets P2, Lando has to be P10 or lower, and Max
Yeah.
can't podium. So basically, like he needs to win, and Lando needs to be outside the top five.
Which
So
I
all are
think
plausible.
if we look at it objectively from like a because my thing is I it's annoying because I feel like if Lando does win, he is going to catch so much unwarranted heat. And I don't like that part of it. People are like, championship drive of something of like, he asked for like help from an engineer during like the engineer during his race. And it's like, oh, world champion driver shouldn't be asking for help. Like it was some like
That's
technical thing.
stupid.
And it's one of those, I'm like, y'all, you're not in the car. Shut your trap and just watch the race. Like, do
What's
I
wrong with asking for help from your
I
team?
know. And it's just like, but all of these things of like, I'm going to be so mad if Lando wins because this, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's not my world champion. It's one of those. My thing is, regardless of the way that it happened, You don't become a championship contender by accident. Do
No.
I think he has had help? In the sense that there have been some questionable calls, like the whole swap thing with Oscar, but like on the same side, there were a few that worked not in his favor. I mean, you've had DNFs, you've had this, you've had that. Like, you don't become a championship contender by accident, which is why I
No.
hate all of just this discourse and just like heat that he's catching if he does pull it out.
Yeah.
My thing is, so it's like I won't be upset if he wins. Do I think if I were to pull from some for someone of like between Oscar and Max, I think I might a little bit want like the likes to see a competitor in me would like to see Max do it just because of the fact that we've seen Max is fighting for a championship in a car that should not be fighting for a championship. And so,
Correct.
like, that part of it I think is really cool. And if Oscar somehow pulls it out after the just bad second half of the season he has,
That'd be
kudos to him.
insane.
But it's one of those, like, I, one of the, a girl, Kirby, that I went to college with, she watches F1 too. And her and I were messaging a little bit on Instagram. And she was like, who do you think's going to win? And my thing is, in my opinion, logically, it should be Lando.
Hmm.
Because of the way I think things are set up, it should be Lando.
It's
And
the
I think
highest
it would
probability,
be,
easily.
I think that would almost be a lock, barring some just like crazy ass result, collision, or whatever. I think Lando would win. But the thing is, when your championship contender, when one of those is Max Verstappen, logic goes out the window.
It does. Well, that and also the amount of times and like the history that Lando has with Max just like kind of like Max challenges him in a great way and it
Hmm.
shows. Like he's learning, he's adapting, but Max is still consistently like, "Hey man, you're getting better, but like here's where you're not
Yes.
still." Like Max is basically like the blueprint and Lando's catching up to that blueprint. And like you said before, it we did not expect Max to be in contention for
No.
this title at all this season, and because well, and this is the reason that I'm rooting for Max is because of like my newfound respect for him. I always
Yeah.
thought he was a
Yeah.
great driver, but I also thought that the car had a lot to do with it, with his success.
Hmm.
This year I was proven insanely wrong. He's
Yes.
driving a 2024 Toyota RAV4 on that track, and he is in contention for
Yeah.
the championship, you
It's
know? So he, like, that's why I'm rooting for Max. I don't dislike Lando. I love
mhm,
Oscar, but I want Max to win. Like, I'm just like that impressed by him. But
yeah.
I think a lot of people, and this is kind of like how it bothers me like the Lewis Hamilton situation in 2021 of like everyone's like, oh, there's like a technicality or whatever, a bad call. Like people will say that about the Super Bowl. People say that about everything, but that's
Mhm.
part of the sport. You know what I
It is.
mean? Like that's part of the
It
sport.
is.
Like you can't take someone's Super Bowl ring away from them because someone made a bad call.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like just because someone made a bad call, it doesn't change the fact that the other team still got that ring, right? So
Yeah.
it's just part of it. Like it's racing incidents and it's the FIA.
Hmm.
George made some funny comments about the stewards. I didn't realize they were volunteers, by the way. Did
Huh.
you know that? I just learned that.
No. Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go
Anyways,
be stewards.
I know, seriously, we'd probably do better than half the fucking
Probably.
FIA. But besides that, that's part of it. Like if I know for a fact, no matter who wins, it does not matter who wins.
Hmm.
Whoever wins, there's going to be people saying, well, this technicality, well, that technicality, they wouldn't have won if it not for
Yes.
this. They wouldn't have won if it not for that. That's going to happen with any
Hmm.
driver. It's part of the fucking sport. Like, that's just
It
how it's going to
is.
be. I'm
It's
prepared to be angry at people's reactions regardless of the winner.
yes. And that's what I think is like you and I think can like yeah, we might feel one way or the other, but I feel like logically I'm not going to be mad at whoever wins.
No.
Because my thing is, they have done what they needed to do to put themselves in this position. They have come back from, a double DNF or a bad car or this or that. Like they have, because yeah, it's like you said, there's a certain level of just unpredictability and just unknown. That is the nature of this sport. That is the nature of sport. Like and it's not always like, yes, McLaren has the fastest car, and people have argued of like, well, he should just be, Lando or Oscar should just be doing what Max did in 2020 and 2022 or 2023 and just winning all the time. And it's like, no,
That's not how it works.
that's not how it works, because again, Max Verstappen, generational talent. That's
Different
why
breed of
he's
human.
like,
Just
that's why he's
yeah.
fighting for the freaking championship right now, because he is a generational talent and he's doing things in a car that should not be like, it just like
That man is in a
I
Kia
am
Soul on the track.
yeah,
Like,
I'm so fired up about it, because it's like, because it's not who they want to win, they're just finding reasons to, like, just nitpick and just be
right,
mad and put dumb shit on the internet because they're sad it didn't go their way. Like, sorry, that's life. That's motorsport. Go find something different if you're not happy about it. Like, it's
right.
just, and I'm sure if it was Charles fighting, like, obviously I'm gonna, like, if it was Charles fighting for the championship, I'm gonna want him to win. Would I be disappointed if he didn't? Yeah, sure. But at the same,
I'm not gonna
it
blame other drivers.
no. And it's like,
Unless someone like turns and hits them with their car on purpose and we have absolute
yeah,
evidence of that, then I'm you can't blame anyone else. You know what I
no.
mean?
So it's like, I like, questionable McLaren calls or not, Max Verstappen being a generational talent, like, regardless of what happens, like, I think whoever wins on Sunday, they deserve it.
I do
Because it's
too.
like, it's very clearly come down to this last race. Who's going to it's going to come down to who's going to deal with the pressure, who's going to adapt, who's going to set themselves up for success or deal with it if it's not. Like, I regardless of how fired up and just like mad I am at people being just annoying, I cannot wait for Sunday. I cannot wait
I'm
for this weekend,
I'm so
because
excited and I'm dreading it because it's the last
no,
race.
I know, but like, I mean, but let's talk about it. In a beginning of the season, I would not have said we would. I was like, maybe championship battle between Lando and Oscar, but a like very viable and like real three-way title fight that comes down to the last race of the season. Like, F1, the movie didn't come up with that good of a plot.
No, well, they couldn't have. They really couldn't have.
No, because
Like
it's like,
it's
man, who could
crazy.
have predicted it?
No one.
Ah,
It's so fun, and that's why I love this sport too. Because like as the season goes on, like you can upgrade the car, you
yes.
can do X, Y, Z, and like that's something that's different than what I feel like a lot of sports are. Like you could, I mean, yeah, you can keep training your body, but you can't like change things about your body like that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
so as each car evolves, so do the rest of them to match it. And it can happen on a, I was going to say race by race basis. It can happen on a day by day basis, like on a
honestly,
weekend. And
honestly,
so it's just so unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen. You
yes.
never know what is going to come out of it. So, and what's so funny is if it's not fun anymore, Max says he's going to leave next year. So,
Which, it's one of those, like, it'll be really curious. I am really curious to see, because, Max sometimes kids around, but also sometimes I think we think he's kidding and he's being so for real. And I
my
feel like
dad
he's
did that to a
so for
mechanic
real.
with a fork. Yeah.
Yeah, like, it's one of those, like, I believe Max when he says, I don't want to be doing this when I'm 40. I think he knows who he is. He's proven himself. Like, that's my thing. Regardless of if he wins Sunday or not, he has proven himself to be, because it's like the Max haters are, oh, well, he just had a really good car. He can't do it if he's not in the fact. Like, that's some bullshit. He's
Yeah, he
done
can.
a car this year that should not have happened. And you don't just do that. I mean, you've seen it with Max and Yuki. I don't think Yuki's a bad driver. Max is just freaking
That good.
phenomenal. Speaking of, RIP Yuki Tsunoda.
I know.
I
Hey,
am a
he can
little sad
finally open
about
that
that.
restaurant.
So we'll sidebar a little bit. Yuki is losing his job next year. They're putting Isaac. Isaac
Isaac.
is getting, promoted. Some would say demoted from RB to Red Bull. And then they're bringing in, what is it? His last name's Lindbad. Cannot think of his
I
first
forgot his
name.
first name.
Um,
This was my
he's
notes.
joining in the other Racing Bull seat. Fun fact: he was not alive when Fernando won his F1 titles.
Yep. We're
Mind you,
old.
Kimi Antonelli was in diapers. This boy was not
Not born.
alive. He is a
Yeah.
child.
He is a child. And so like with the Isack, I'm sad for Yuki, but it's the curse of the second Red Bull seat, and then that
It
makes me
is.
sad and scared for Isack because Isack has been so consistent and so
Yeah.
good this season. He's one of the best. He's one of, well, no, all the rookies are really good, honestly, except Gabriel. Not that he's
I
bad, but he's in a shit car.
I'm
Um,
cautiously optimistic because of the regulation change next year.
yeah, that'll probably change a lot. That's a good point.
All of these like curse of the second Red Bull seats have happened pretty much under these regulations, which is crazy how many drivers they've churned through. So I am hopeful. I do feel bad for Yuki, but it's like at the same time, like you put all of your eggs into this team, and it's like I really hate it for him because I like him as a personality and I do think he became a better driver, but I just don't feel like Red Bull ever set him up for success ever.
No,
And that's on Red Bull, not Yuki. But it's
right.
like it sucks.
Sucks that
Uh
it's taken out on him, even though it's not his fault.
I am excited for Isack. I think honestly, him being teammates with Max,
I
I
think
think
that'll be
that'll be really
good.
good for Isack.
I think it will too. I think it's gonna be fun. I think it'll be really interesting.
I think it'll be
Um,
but
and then
yeah.
there's one more team change, and I say team change. It's just a rumor, and I don't think this rumor is true. But you can't discount anything after
No.
Lewis Hamilton moved to Ferrari. So I have to at least acknowledge that this has been being talked about for a couple weeks now. People are saying that Charles might go to Aston Martin. And I'm like, hey, that's insane. That is like maybe the worst thing you could ever tell me.
Please no.
Um,
Please
and I'm like, please don't do that. Like, don't do that. I don't
no.
think it's true, but I don't want to say that I don't think it's true because then you know what's gonna happen. It'll happen.
It'll
That's what
happen.
happened with. I was like, they'll never get rid of Carlos. Like,
And the
what?
thing
Like,
is, as much as I don't want that to happen, if anything, I think the Carlos to Williams and that whole story has proven that just because someone you love goes to a team that is not great doesn't mean it's not going to turn around. Like will what Carlos has done for Williams happen to everyone? No.
no,
But again, that's the freaking nature of this sport. I mean, you've seen it time and time again. McLaren was a tractor and bottom of the grid two and a half,
2 years
seasons.
ago.
Now they are two-time constructors or constructors champion, and now you've got your two drivers fighting for a championship, and then like Williams, who has more points this season than they've had in the last like however many combined. Like they were saying this is the second season a Williams was on the podium in the same season, I think since like 2015. It was 10 years ago. So it's like,
Oh, that's wrong. Why would you say that?
I know.
10
Isn't
years
that
ago?
batshit crazy? 2015 was 10 years ago.
I gotta
Yeah.
go.
Uh-huh.
No, that's wrong. No, okay. We have to brush past that or I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So
nature of the
all of
sport,
that,
crazy.
it's crazy. I am nervous, sweating, excited, shaking, throwing up, crying, all of the above for Sunday and for this weekend.
I'm a
It's
medical
going to be
anomaly in
crazy.
preparation for this weekend.
I mean, like, race starts at 7 a.m. our time, which is a little earlier than I would like for it to be. But I mean,
But
like,
I'll be up.
you damn better bet I'm going to be bright eyed and bushy tailed, and I am the opposite of a morning person.
I'm gonna have beignets and everything. I'm gonna be ready.
Oh, the PJ's beignets.
Come
Anyways,
back.
yeah, it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be wild.
Ah,
I'm excited, also nervous, all of the emotions.
yeah.
What the hell has this season been?
Fun.
Crazy.
Maybe this season was the friends we made along the way.
Something like that. And the trauma bonding,
Yeah, that's a real thing.
it absolutely is a real thing.
You
But
know
yeah,
what?
no.
Even though you're further away, I feel like this season has brought us closer.
Ugh, that was sappy, but I
I
liked
know.
it.
I'm sorry. That was really rude of me.
I know.
I'm
That's
such
what's
a bitch for
crazy.
that.
This season, I the things that have happened in this year alone, I can't wait for this year to be over for a multitude of reasons, but I'm also kind of sad to see it go.
I know.
At least the F1 season. The
F1,
actual
I'm
year
like,
by 2025. Never want to see you again.
I'm going to, after the race on Sunday, I'm going to be all worked up about whatever the result was for about
Mhm.
6 hours. And then I'm
Yeah.
going to sit and stare blankly at the wall for the next
Oh,
4 months until the next season starts.
luckily, I have a 4.5 hour drive after the race on Sunday to like think about my
Process.
actions. But I will also either be with a very happy Maddie or a very depressed Maddie because Maddie is a Lando girly, like through and
Ooh.
through. And so Shelby, shout out you, is running a half marathon in Memphis this weekend, and we're going. I can't say it in the event that she listens to this before the a race, but I'm making
Yep.
her a really fun sign. Hannah knows what it says. I'm really excited about it. And then we're watching the race all together on Sunday, and but Maddie's riding with me and back with me. So we're it's to be determined,
We'll see how
but
that car ride goes.
it'll yeah, it'll be we'll see. I'm
We
excited.
shall see. I
Um
am too. But
Also, random, again, a little tidbit. Spotify Wrapped came out today. If we were on yours first podcast, let us know. Thanks. My friend Danny, he sent me a screenshot of his. We were his third most listened to podcast, which he listens to a frick ton of podcasts. So like, hey, thanks.
thank you,
Um,
Danny. King
Anyways, yeah, if
energy,
you
king
listen to
behavior.
us or for the first time or a lot time, thanks. We really appreciate you. Can't wait
We really
for
do.
our final episode of the 2025 season, and then we'll probably cook up some random
Yeah.
things because it's us
We
and
still have
we
to
can't
do the
not yap.
little we still have to do the little like choosing who each other's driver and track and stuff are
We
for each
sure
other
do.
that I
I
mentioned
did
like in
do it.
February.
Sh- She did. Um, Remember the whole this year has just been an absolute insane, crazy search.
Mhm.
Yeah. I did do it. I do have one. I do have both of them. So
I have
stay
it. I
tuned.
have it printed out.
I have it. I have it printed. I actually, it's on my Google Drive, not printed out, but I could print it out.
You could.
Nonetheless,
Um
I
yeah.
digress. I have a lot of energy right now because we got really fired up and I don't know what to do with it.
We're ending this episode with like twice the energy we started with.
No, I know. That's what's crazy.
I know. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we'll see y'all next week to see who won the championship and who of all of us is still alive.
Yep.
Um, who is who is emotionally of sound mind.
And honestly, probably going to be the latter category anyways because one season will be over, two there's going to be a lot of things that I'm sure happened and,
Yeah. No, that's perfect. Ah.
yeah, basically. So,
Yeah.
catch us
Yeah.
next week to see what happens.
Yeah. I'm Hannah.
I'm Sydney.
Why are you crying?
Ah!
It's
Anyways,
lights out.
and away we go.
Bye.